Imagine walking into a room and instantly sensing someone who doesn't speak much yet somehow draws everyone's attention. Their presence is magnetic and effortless, and you can't quite put your finger on why, but you feel intrigued and curious. That is the essence of being silently attractive. It is not about shouting louder than everyone else or trying to force admiration. It is about cultivating a quiet confidence that radiates from within and makes people notice you without you even trying. Silently attractive people have a way of commanding attention not through drama or flamboyance but through the subtle power of self-mastery and calm energy. They do not seek validation from others because they know their worth, and that awareness creates a magnetic aura that is impossible to ignore. Being silently attractive starts with understanding yourself. It starts with pausing and reflecting on who you are, what you stand for, and how you want to interact with the world. It is about developing habits that enhance your social presence without drawing attention to the effort you put into them. This is not a performance, it is a lifestyle. It is about mastering the inner world so that your outer world naturally reflects strength, composure, and charm. When you walk into a room, you carry a presence that makes people take notice, not because you demand it, but because you embody it fully and authentically. One of the most important elements of silent attraction is confidence, but not the kind that is loud and boastful. It is a quiet, unshakable confidence rooted in self-awareness and personal growth. Confident people do not need to prove themselves or compete for attention. They simply exist fully in the moment, and their energy speaks volumes. They are calm, composed, and grounded, and that stability is something people instinctively trust and gravitate toward. You see, there is a difference between confidence and arrogance. Confidence invites connection. Arrogance pushes it away. Silently attractive people understand this distinction and live by it. They know when to speak, when to listen, and when to simply observe, and that mastery of social energy sets them apart. Stoicism is the perfect philosophy to guide this journey of silent attraction because it teaches the art of self-mastery, emotional resilience, and mindful observation. The Stoics believed that we cannot control the world around us, but we can control how we respond to it. And when you apply this principle to social interactions, you begin to exude a calm, magnetic presence. People notice when you are composed in chaos, when you listen more than you speak, and when you respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively. These subtle behaviors create a sense of reliability and trustworthiness that is far more attractive than any flashy gesture or rehearsed line. Listening is the foundation of silent attraction because it shows genuine interest in others. It is easy to talk about ourselves and our achievements, but it takes skill and presence to truly hear what someone else is saying, to remember the small details, to ask thoughtful follow-up questions, and to make the person feel seen and valued. When you master the art of listening, you become a person people want to be around because interactions with you feel meaningful and effortless. Your energy makes people feel comfortable, appreciated, and understood. This is the kind of attraction that doesn't fade because it is built on authenticity and emotional intelligence, not superficial charm. Another key habit of silently attractive people is the ability to manage their emotions. They do not let anger, frustration, or insecurity dictate their behavior. Instead, they respond to situations with measured thought and calm clarity. This does not mean they are emotionless. It means they have trained themselves to observe their emotions without being controlled by them. When someone sees you remain composed in a tense situation, they instinctively respect and trust you. They feel safe around you, and they are drawn to your stability. Your ability to navigate life calmly and gracefully gives you a presence that is inherently attractive. Body language is another subtle but powerful tool of silent attraction. It is not about striking poses or exaggerated gestures. It is about carrying yourself with natural grace and awareness. The way you stand, the way you walk, the way you hold your gaze all communicate more than words ever could. Maintain good posture, move with intention, and make eye contact that conveys interest without being intrusive. These small adjustments to your presence amplify the energy you radiate and reinforce the perception that you are someone grounded, confident, and approachable. Silently attractive people also cultivate an inner life rich with curiosity, reflection, and personal growth. They read, they learn, they explore new ideas, and they engage with the world thoughtfully. Their minds are active and engaged, in this intellectual vitality shines through in their conversations and interactions. They do not need to dominate discussions or show off their knowledge. They share insights naturally and selectively, and that makes their words carry more weight. People are drawn to intelligence that is expressed with humility and authenticity. Humor and relatability also play a role in silent attraction, but in a subtle manner. It is not about being the loudest or funniest person in the room. It is about having a light-hearted perspective on life that allows others to feel comfortable and at ease. Your humor should be gentle, respectful, and inclusive. It should create connection, not discomfort. The silently attractive person can make others smile with a small observation, a witty remark, or a playful story without stealing the spotlight. This balance of warmth and restraint is incredibly magnetic. because it shows that you are confident enough to enjoy life without needing constant validation from others. Generosity of spirit is another trait that enhances silent attraction. This does not necessarily mean material generosity, although that can be part of it. It means emotional generosity, the ability to give your attention, kindness, and support without expecting anything in return. When people feel valued and appreciated around you, they are naturally drawn to your energy. Your generosity signals that you are secure and self-sufficient. Your worth is not tied to others' approval, and that sense of independence is quietly irresistible. Finally, the essence of silent attraction lies in consistency. It is not a one-time performance or a series of calculated moves. It is a lifestyle. It is showing up with the same composed energy day after day, treating people with respect, listening with intent, and maintaining emotional equilibrium. These habits compound over time and create a magnetic presence that is authentic and enduring. People notice the subtle power you carry, and they are naturally drawn to it because it is genuine. So when you think about being silently attractive, think about the person who walks into a room and captures attention, not with loud gestures or flashy words, but with calm energy, grounded confidence, genuine interest, and thoughtful presence. Imagine yourself embodying these qualities, practicing self-mastery, embracing Stoic principles, listening more than you speak, managing your emotions, carrying yourself with natural grace, sharing gentle humor, and giving generously of your attention and care. These are the habits that build attraction without effort, that create connection without performance, and that allow your presence to speak louder than words ever could. Being silently attractive is not about manipulation or trying to impress. It is about cultivating a life of awareness, self-mastery, and authentic connection. It is about becoming someone who people notice because they feel drawn to your energy, your calm confidence, your warmth, and your genuine interest in the world and in them. And when you embrace these habits, you will find that social attraction no longer requires effort. It becomes a natural byproduct of who you are and how you live your life, and that is the true power of silent attraction. Have you ever met someone who talks endlessly but somehow never really connects with anyone, and you leave the conversation feeling exhausted or even a little frustrated? Now imagine the opposite, someone who barely says much, yet when they do speak it feels meaningful and you remember every word. That is the magic of listening more than you speak, and it is one of the most powerful habits of silently attractive people. Listening is not just hearing words, it is absorbing meaning, noticing subtle cues, observing body language, and understanding emotion. It is being fully present in a conversation and giving your attention without distraction. When you listen attentively, people feel seen, valued, and understood, and that is the kind of magnetic energy that draws people naturally to you. The silently attractive person does not interrupt or dominate the conversation. They allow others to express themselves fully and respond thoughtfully, creating a sense of safety and trust in their presence. One of the simplest ways to practice this habit is to focus on remembering small details that people share with you: the name of a child, a favorite hobby, a story from the past. These tiny observations show that you care and that your attention is genuine, and people notice these things subconsciously. Over time, this builds connection and respect, and it is one of the most subtle yet effective ways to become socially magnetic. Asking questions is another key aspect of listening more than speaking, but the trick is to ask meaningful questions, not just filler questions. The silently attractive person is curious about others for genuine reasons. They want to understand experiences, perspectives, and feelings rather than to impress or steer the conversation in their favor. Asking questions that show insight and thoughtfulness signals intelligence, empathy, and emotional maturity, and people feel drawn to that kind of presence because it is rare and refreshing. It is also important to practice restraint. When you have something to say, resisting the urge to jump in or share a personal story immediately allows the other person to continue expressing themselves and gives you time to craft a thoughtful response. When you do speak, your words carry more weight because they are deliberate and intentional rather than impulsive, and this selective approach to speaking makes your contributions more memorable and meaningful. A powerful tip is to repeat or paraphrase what someone has said to show that you truly understand them. Simple phrases like "so what you are saying is," or "it sounds like you felt," help demonstrate empathy and attentiveness. This small effort can transform ordinary conversations into deeper connections and leave people thinking about you long after the interaction has ended, and that is the essence of silent attraction. It is not about saying the most, it is about making what you say count. Listening more than speaking also builds trust. It signals that you are not judgmental or self-centered, that you value others' perspectives, and that you are emotionally grounded. When people sense that you are genuinely invested in their words and feelings, they naturally open up and feel safe around you. And safety is one of the strongest forces of attraction, because people instinctively gravitate toward those who make them feel secure and understood. Beyond individual conversations, this habit influences group dynamics as well. A person who listens more than they speak in meetings, social gatherings, or group discussions is often noticed as wise and composed. They may not dominate the room, but their observations carry weight, and when they do speak, others pay attention because they know the input is Thoughtful, measured, and meaningful. This kind of social influence is quiet but incredibly powerful, and it builds reputation and respect organically. Another subtle layer of listening is observing nonverbal communication. Silently attractive people are keenly aware of gestures, facial expressions, tone of voice, and body posture. They notice when someone is uncomfortable, excited, anxious, or thoughtful, and they adjust their responses accordingly. This attunement to the unspoken makes interactions smoother, more empathetic, and more engaging. People feel like you truly see them, and that perception is incredibly magnetic because it creates a deeper sense of connection that goes beyond words. Patience is also a key part of this habit. It takes discipline to listen fully without interrupting, to allow pauses for thought and reflection, and to resist the urge to immediately offer advice or solutions. Many people feel compelled to fix or dominate conversations, but silently attractive people understand that sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is simply be present and listen. That presence communicates respect, empathy, and emotional maturity, and it draws people naturally. It is also important to practice self-awareness while listening, noticing your own impulses to interrupt, judge, or redirect the conversation. Silently attractive people cultivate mindfulness. They notice their own reactions and manage them gracefully. This self-control not only enhances their listening skills but also reinforces their quiet confidence. People sense that you are in control of your emotions and thoughts, and that composure is inherently attractive. Humor can also be subtly woven into the art of listening without overshadowing the other person. Lightly commenting or reflecting a shared joke or observation creates rapport and warmth. It signals that you are engaged and relaxed and adds a layer of approachability without taking the spotlight away from the conversation. Remember, silent attraction is not about performance, it is about presence and connecting authentically with the people around you. Over time, the habit of listening more than speaking transforms social interactions. It changes the way people perceive you. They begin to notice your attentiveness, your empathy, your thoughtfulness, and your emotional intelligence, and these qualities make you stand out in a world where many people are loud and self-absorbed. Your ability to connect deeply through listening becomes your silent power. Your conversations become memorable, your relationships stronger, and your social influence grows effortlessly. Another layer is adaptability. Silently attractive listeners adjust their communication style to fit the person they are speaking with. They notice energy levels, tone, and engagement, and respond in a way that makes the interaction comfortable and natural. This sensitivity signals social intelligence and makes others feel more at ease in your presence. And when people feel comfortable and understood, they are naturally drawn to you. Finally, the true magic of listening more than speaking is that it allows you to learn continuously from the people around you. Every conversation becomes a source of insight, inspiration, and personal growth. Silently attractive people see every interaction as an opportunity to understand the world better, themselves better, and others better. This mindset not only enhances your social skills, but also deepens your character and presence, and over time, it cultivates a magnetic aura of wisdom, empathy, and calm composure that draws people effortlessly. So remember to prioritize listening over speaking, to ask thoughtful questions, to notice subtle cues, to respond with intention, to practice patience, to weave in light humor, to observe and manage your own impulses, to be fully present, and to see every interaction as an opportunity to connect and grow. When you embrace these habits, the impact is profound. Conversations become richer, relationships become deeper, and your presence becomes magnetic without ever having to force it. This is the art of silent attraction and the foundation of being someone people remember and naturally want to be around. Now let's talk about something that many people overlook when it comes to being silently attractive, and that is the mastery of your emotions. Imagine someone in a stressful situation, perhaps a heated conversation at work or a tense moment with friends. Most people react immediately. They frown, they raise their voice, they gesture wildly, or they retreat inward, and that reaction is normal. But the silently attractive person responds differently. They pause, they breathe, and they maintain calm composure, and that difference is magnetic because it signals emotional maturity, stability, and self-control. Mastering your emotions does not mean suppressing them. It does not mean pretending you do not feel anger, frustration, or disappointment. It means observing your feelings and choosing how to respond rather than reacting impulsively. This level of self-awareness is rare, and people instinctively notice it. When someone remains calm under pressure, they project reliability and strength, and others feel drawn to that energy because it is reassuring and inspiring. At the same time, Stoicism teaches us that while we cannot control external events, we can control our reactions, and applying this principle to social situations gives you a powerful advantage. People are constantly testing boundaries, whether consciously or unconsciously, and your ability to remain composed in moments of tension or conflict sets you apart. It demonstrates that you are not ruled by emotion, that you are capable of thinking clearly, and that you possess an inner strength that does not need validation from the outside world. One practical way to develop this habit is to practice mindfulness in everyday situations. Notice your immediate emotional reactions, observe them without judgment, and take a few moments before responding. Even in minor disagreements, this pause allows you to choose a response that is thoughtful and measured rather than reactive. Over time, this small practice builds a reputation of calm confidence that people find naturally attractive and inspiring. Another key aspect of emotional mastery is self-reflection. Silently attractive people often take time to analyze their emotional triggers. They ask themselves why they feel certain ways in particular situations and how they can respond more effectively. They recognize patterns in their behavior and work to improve them. This ongoing self-work not only enhances emotional intelligence but also reinforces the perception that they are composed. Deliberate and wise people are drawn to this because it signals depth and maturity that goes beyond surface charm. Body language also plays a huge role in demonstrating emotional control. When someone gestures wildly, fidgets, or shows visible tension, it communicates uncertainty and volatility. Conversely, a person who maintains relaxed posture, steady eye contact, and calm facial expressions communicates stability, confidence, and inner control. These nonverbal cues reinforce the impression of emotional mastery and quietly increase your social magnetism. Listening is intertwined with emotional control because when you listen with empathy without immediate judgment or reaction, you demonstrate that you are capable of managing your responses and valuing the perspectives of others. This skill makes people feel safe and respected in your presence, and that safety is inherently attractive. It creates a sense of trust and comfort that draws people to you naturally and effortlessly. Humor can also be used strategically to display emotional control. Lighthearted observations or gentle jokes in tense moments show that you are not easily rattled, that you can see situations from a balanced perspective, and that you have the ability to navigate social interactions with grace. This kind of humor is not about deflecting seriousness, but about demonstrating perspective and resilience, and it adds an approachable warmth to your composed presence. Another important practice is setting boundaries. Calmly and clearly, silently attractive people do not allow others to manipulate their emotions or impose unnecessary stress. They communicate their limits with respect and firmness, and this signals self-respect and integrity. When you handle conflicts or requests with calm assertiveness, people notice your confidence, and it increases your social credibility and attractiveness because you are seen as someone who is principled and reliable without being domineering. Emotional control also enhances decision-making and leadership in social and professional settings. When you remain composed, you are able to assess situations clearly and make thoughtful choices rather than reacting impulsively. This ability is rare, and it makes your advice and input more valued by others. People naturally gravitate toward those who can think clearly under pressure because they exude competence and wisdom, and this kind of attraction is deep and enduring rather than superficial. It is also crucial to practice self-compassion alongside emotional mastery. Silently attractive people are not harsh or critical of themselves. When they feel frustration, disappointment, or regret, instead they acknowledge their feelings, learn from them, and move forward with poise. This attitude demonstrates resilience and self-awareness, and it subtly signals to others that you are balanced emotionally and capable of handling life's ups and downs with grace. In addition, observing the emotional states of others and responding with empathy amplifies silent attraction. When you notice discomfort, stress, or excitement in others and mirror understanding or offer calm reassurance, it strengthens connection and builds trust. Your ability to regulate your own emotions allows you to respond appropriately to the feelings of others, and that awareness creates social magnetism because people sense that you are reliable, grounded, and considerate. Daily practices such as meditation, journaling, or mindful breathing can significantly improve your emotional regulation. These activities enhance self-awareness and cultivate a calm, centered mindset that carries over into all social interactions. Practicing consistently transforms the way you experience life and how people perceive your presence. It reinforces the subtle aura of confidence and control that is central to silent attraction. Another layer of emotional mastery is learning to detach from external validation or criticism. Silently attractive people are not swayed by praise or offended by judgment because they understand that their worth is inherent and not dependent on the opinions of others. This detachment allows them to navigate social situations gracefully. It prevents emotional turbulence and reinforces a sense of inner stability that others find calming and attractive. Empathy, combined with emotional control, is a silent superpower. Observing emotions, understanding them without absorbing them entirely, and responding with care creates strong interpersonal bonds. People feel deeply understood and supported without feeling smothered. This balance is magnetic and rare. It draws others to you because it demonstrates strength, wisdom, and warmth all at once. Over time, the habit of mastering your emotions transforms every social interaction. It changes how you are perceived. It enhances your confidence, your presence, and your influence people notice when you handle challenges with grace, when you remain composed during disagreements, and when you respond thoughtfully in moments of tension. Your reputation grows quietly but powerfully, and that reputation becomes a cornerstone of silent attraction. So remember to cultivate emotional control by observing your feelings, pausing before reacting, practicing empathy, setting boundaries with calm assertiveness, reflecting on triggers, and responding thoughtfully in all situations. Combine these practices with body language awareness, mindfulness, humor, self-compassion, and detachment from external validation, and you create a presence that is magnetic, composed, and deeply attractive without ever needing to perform or boast. When you master your emotions, you master silent attraction, and you become someone people naturally respect, trust, and want to be around. Confidence is one of the most quietly powerful aspects of being silently attractive, but it is important to understand that the kind of confidence we are talking about is very different from arrogance or showiness. It is a calm inner certainty that comes from knowing your worth, your abilities, and your values without needing to announce them to the world. Silently attractive people carry themselves with this quiet assurance, and it is magnetic because it signals stability, reliability, and self-respect without a single boast or over-the-top gesture. Imagine someone who walks into a room, and instead of trying to dominate the conversation, they simply stand tall, make gentle eye contact, and engage with others in a measured way. There is no need to shout to be noticed. Their presence alone communicates competence and ease, and people are drawn to that because it feels effortless and authentic. They do not demand admiration, they naturally earn it through their composure actions, and the way they make others feel. This type of confidence is rooted in self-awareness and self-mastery. Silently attractive people have spent time understanding their strengths and weaknesses. They are aware of what they bring to the table, and they are also comfortable with areas where they are still growing. This acceptance of oneself creates an aura of authenticity and balance because people can sense when someone is being genuine versus performing for attention. True confidence is visible in subtle behaviors. It is in the way you listen attentively, speak thoughtfully, carry yourself gracefully, and interact with others respectfully, and these small, consistent actions create a magnetic presence. One practical habit to develop this kind of confidence is to practice mindful posture and body language. Notice how you stand, sit, and walk, and make small adjustments to convey composure and presence. Your body communicates your inner state to the world, and by aligning it with calm assurance, you reinforce the perception of confidence without needing to overcompensate or exaggerate gestures. Another powerful element is communication style. Silently attractive people speak clearly and deliberately. They avoid filler words, over-explaining or rushing their thoughts. They take pauses to ensure their message is understood, and their tone is calm and steady. This deliberate approach communicates intelligence and composure and makes their words carry weight because people perceive them as thoughtful and intentional rather than impulsive or insecure. Confidence also comes from competence and preparation. When you cultivate skills, knowledge, and experiences that you can draw upon, you naturally feel more secure in social situations. This does not mean bragging or showing off. It means quietly knowing that you are capable and informed, and this inner assurance shines through in your interactions. People can sense when someone is self-sufficient and capable, and that is inherently attractive because it signals reliability and strength without intimidation. Humility is an essential companion to confidence. The silently attractive person does not need to boast or dominate. They allow their actions to speak for themselves. They listen to others, acknowledge different perspectives, and admit when they do not know something. This humility does not diminish their presence, it enhances it because it communicates authenticity, self-awareness, and emotional intelligence. People are drawn to confidence tempered with humility because it feels safe, trustworthy, and approachable. Socially, this kind of confidence allows you to influence without pressure. You can guide conversations, share insights, and inspire others without forcing attention or recognition. Your demeanor invites respect because it is grounded, not performative. You become someone people naturally want to learn from, engage with, and be around because your confidence is genuine, not superficial. Another aspect of quietly attractive confidence is decisiveness, calmly making choices and standing by them without unnecessary drama or hesitation. It signals self-trust and clarity of thought. When people see that you can navigate uncertainty or challenges without floundering, they feel reassured and drawn to your presence. Decisiveness, coupled with calm humility, creates a rare combination of competence and approachability that is hard to resist. Appearance also contributes subtly to confidence without being about vanity. Dressing appropriately, maintaining grooming, and choosing attire that makes you feel composed communicates self-respect and attentiveness. People subconsciously read these cues as indicators of confidence and reliability. When paired with inner composure, they enhance your overall social presence and attract positive attention effortlessly. Confidence is also expressed through how you handle compliments and criticism. Silently attractive people accept praise graciously without gloating and receive feedback without defensiveness or overreaction. They remain centered and balanced in Either case, this ability to navigate social validation gracefully reinforces a sense of inner strength that is very appealing because it signals emotional intelligence and self-sufficiency. Body language, tone of voice, composure, listening, humility, competence, decisiveness, and emotional balance all combine to create a quietly confident presence that does not need to dominate a room but naturally draws attention. People are instinctively drawn to individuals who are secure in themselves. Because that security offers comfort, stability, and trust, it allows others to relax and feel at ease in their presence, and that ease is the foundation of attraction. Mentorship and supportiveness also enhance silent confidence. When you use your abilities and experience to uplift others without seeking credit, you amplify your attractiveness. Your energy communicates that you are secure enough to empower others without feeling threatened, and that generosity of spirit combined with competence signals high social value and magnetic presence. Another important aspect is self-control under pressure. The silently attractive person maintains grace. When things go wrong, or when faced with conflict, they do not react impulsively or defensively. They pause, assess, and respond in a composed manner. This behavior demonstrates mastery of self and situation, and people notice it subconsciously. It increases their respect for you and strengthens your presence without any need for exaggeration or performance. Humor can also enhance confident presence when used subtly. It communicates comfort and ease with yourself in situations, lightly easing tension or offering perspective. Shows emotional intelligence and balance. It humanizes you and makes interactions more enjoyable. People feel safe and drawn to your composed yet approachable energy. Over time, cultivating this combination of inner knowledge, composure, humility, competence, decisiveness, emotional control, thoughtful communication, and subtle humor builds a presence that is magnetic and authentic. It is a slow accumulation of habits and mindset shifts rather than sudden change, but the results are profound. Silently attractive people do not need to push for attention because their confidence draws it naturally. So remember to cultivate quiet confidence by knowing yourself deeply, embracing your strengths and weaknesses, practicing composure, speaking thoughtfully, dressing with self-respect, accepting feedback gracefully, acting with humility, making decisions calmly, maintaining emotional control, supporting others, and incorporating subtle humor. All these elements together create a presence that is irresistibly attractive. Without shouting for attention, it allows you to navigate social spaces gracefully, influence effectively, and leave a lasting impression that is both profound and effortless. The final habit that completes the foundation of being silently attractive is presence and positive energy. Imagine meeting someone who seems fully engaged in every moment, who listens as if you are the only person in the room, whose attention is genuine, and whose responses feel thoughtful and heartfelt. That kind of presence is rare and magnetic because it communicates that you value others and that you are comfortable in your own skin. Silently attractive people understand that presence is about more than just being physically there. It is about being emotionally and mentally present, fully aware, and genuinely interested in the people and the environment around them. Presence begins with attention, consciously putting aside distractions, phones, notifications, or wandering thoughts, and directing your focus to the person you are interacting with is the first step toward cultivating magnetic energy. It signals respect, care, and authenticity, and people can feel when you are truly attentive versus just physically present. Being fully engaged makes conversations richer, deeper, and leaves lasting impressions because people remember how you made them feel more than the words you used. Listening remains central to cultivating presence. It is not enough to hear words. You need to notice tone, body language, facial expressions, and subtle cues. Silently attractive people practice active listening. They respond with empathy and thoughtfulness. They ask questions that reflect genuine curiosity, and they validate the experiences and emotions of others. This level of engagement makes people feel understood and valued, and that feeling is inherently attractive because it creates trust, connection, and comfort. Positive energy is another critical layer. It is not about forced optimism or fake cheerfulness. It is about maintaining a balanced outlook and radiating calm, composure, warmth, and approachability. Your emotional energy sets the tone for interactions. People are drawn to those whose presence uplifts rather than drains, and quietly attractive individuals understand this subtle power and cultivate it consistently. They share encouragement, light humor, or thoughtful observations that enhance the experience of being around them without overshadowing others. Small gestures amplify positive presence. Simple acts such as smiling, naturally nodding in agreement, expressing gratitude, acknowledging effort, or making light, playful observations signal attentiveness and care. These micro-interactions create a ripple effect in social dynamics and reinforce your magnetic energy. People leave conversations feeling lighter, Appreciated and subtly drawn to your calm, confident demeanor. Avoiding negativity, gossip, and constant complaining is also essential for sustaining positive energy. Silently attractive people are conscious of the emotional impact of their words and actions. They understand that negativity drains energy and pushes others away. By cultivating awareness of the emotional environment and choosing constructive, uplifting contributions, they enhance their social presence and increase their attractiveness naturally without effort. Mindful self-expression is another element of presence. People are drawn to authenticity. The silently attractive person expresses opinions and feelings clearly, but without aggression or domination. They communicate with thoughtfulness, respect, and emotional intelligence. This combination allows them to influence positively, build rapport, and maintain trust while staying true to themselves. Their presence feels safe, approachable, and inspiring. Body language reinforces presence and positive energy. A relaxed posture, open gestures, gentle eye contact, and measured movements communicate calm assurance and engagement. They signal confidence and warmth and make others feel comfortable and welcome. The combination of attentive listening, expressive authenticity, and confident body language creates a holistic presence that is subtly magnetic and naturally appealing. Energy management is also crucial. Silently attractive people understand that their energy is finite and that they are responsible for how they express it in social situations. They pace themselves, respond intentionally, and avoid overextending emotionally. This self-regulation ensures that their presence remains consistent, grounded, and positive, and it increases their social influence because people instinctively seek out steady energy that is reassuring and enjoyable to be around. Empathy enhances positive presence by allowing you to connect deeply with others without becoming enmeshed in their emotions. Silently attractive people practice emotional attunement. They notice when someone is stressed or excited and respond in ways that validate feelings and support comfort. This creates trust and strengthens bonds. People feel safe and understood, and that trust and emotional resonance are highly attractive qualities that amplify your social magnetism. Consistency is key. Cultivating presence and positive energy is not a one-time effort. It is a daily practice that compounds over time. By being consistently attentive, empathetic, authentic, and positive, people start to notice these qualities subconsciously. Your reputation as someone who uplifts, values, and engages meaningfully grows, and it enhances every other aspect of silent attraction, including confidence, emotional mastery, listening, and social influence. Humor and lightheartedness also enrich presence. When used appropriately, they make interactions enjoyable and create rapport without dominating the conversation or drawing attention away from others. Gently sharing observations or playful insights demonstrates comfort with yourself and ease in social situations. It communicates that you can navigate life with perspective and grace, and that combination is highly appealing because it balances competence with approachability, personal curiosity, and engagement. Deepen presence. Silently attractive people approach the world and others with a mindset of learning and interest. They ask thoughtful questions, explore ideas, and reflect meaningfully on experiences. This curiosity signals intelligence, openness, and authenticity. It creates more interesting interactions and leaves people feeling enriched after engaging with you, and that sense of enrichment is intrinsically attractive because it adds value to social interactions without overt effort. Generosity of spirit complements positive energy. Being present is not only about attention but also about giving of yourself in meaningful ways. This can be as simple as offering encouragement, support, acknowledgement, or sharing resources and insights generously without expectation. Silently attractive people give quietly and consistently, and this generosity creates goodwill, trust, and admiration. People are naturally drawn to those who lift them without seeking to control or manipulate. Adaptability strengthens presence in social situations. Being able to read the room and adjust energy, tone, and approach demonstrates social intelligence and emotional sophistication. Silently attractive people adjust without losing authenticity. They maintain their composure, respect boundaries, and respond to subtle social cues effectively. This adaptability makes interactions feel comfortable and natural and enhances their magnetic energy because it communicates empathy, competence, and attentiveness simultaneously. Over time, cultivating presence and positive energy transforms the way you are perceived in every environment. It reinforces trust, attraction, and social influence. It amplifies all other habits of silent attraction such as confidence, emotional mastery, listening, and humility. People notice your consistency, authenticity, and warmth subconsciously, and they are drawn naturally to the energy you radiate. It creates deeper relationships, richer interactions, and a lasting impression that feels effortless and genuine. So remember to cultivate presence by being fully attentive, minimizing distractions, actively listening, maintaining calm, radiating warmth, expressing authenticity, managing energy, practicing empathy, incorporating light humor, staying consistent, and giving generously of your attention and care. When you combine all these practices, you create a social presence that is magnetic, composed, and deeply attractive. People naturally gravitate toward your energy. Feel comfortable and valued in your presence, and remember you for the way you made them feel. Silently attractive energy is not about performance or showmanship. It is about living intentionally and authentically and allowing your natural confidence, empathy, and presence to speak for itself.